In my last 2 years of being in university, I've 10x my productivity, which means I can get good grades while studying less and also putting the extra time to progress in my other areas of life, such as fitness, making content, and etc. And so if you watch until the end of this video, you're going to learn exactly how you can also boost your own productivity. And we're going to do this using a very simple 3-step method. But you can only make progress to your productivity if you follow this guide step by step. And so full screen this video and give me your undivided attention. The first thing I want you to do is check your screen time right now. Check your average for the last week. And so it's probably around 4 hours, 5 hours, some of you even up to 7, 8 hours a day, which is insane. But nevertheless, I was also there. I was even worse. I was like 9 hours sometimes, or even 11 hours on some days, which is crazy to think about because now I don't think I ever even go past 2 hours. And even when I get close to 2 hours, it's like you'll see my screen time is like 1 hour 30 on like Google, on like Apple Maps because I had to drive that day. Or I was watching a podcast while I was out or something, and so my YouTube music had like an extra 45 minutes. So if you're actually trying to fix your screen time, let's say you're in 5 hours right now and you're trying to get to 2 hours, right? It's really easy for you to say, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm just gonna go on 2 hours only, I promise, yeah. But then 3 days later, you relapse. Not just like everything else you've done in your life. You'll stick to it for 2-3 days and then relapse and become even worse. And so the better approach to have is to just make it hard to even go on your phone. Because that way, it's kind of impossible to then get a high screen time. So just listen and follow what I'm about to say step by step. Because if you genuinely follow all these steps, you're gonna have a 2 hour screen time, even a 1 hour screen time easily. But if you're just gonna watch and just not do anything, not follow the steps, then just click off the video because there's no point of you watching this for entertainment. And so the first thing I want you to do is, first of all, set a downtime on your phone. What a downtime is if you go on screen time, you can set a time where your phone literally disables all the apps and a time where, it goes back to normal. And so my downtime is from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. And so I basically can't use any apps except for like a few apps that I have allowed. For example, like the phone app or like my calorie tracking app because, I wake up and I weigh myself in the morning. And so I literally disable my phone 2 hours before I sleep because I sleep at 10 p.m. And so I disable it at 8 p.m. And then I enable it at 7 a.m. even though I wake up at 5. Because if I'm trying to actually get sleep, I can't be distracted and stimulated right before I go to sleep. And if I'm trying to have a productive morning, then I can't be distracted and stimulated by my phone either. Once you set up your downtime, you also want to make sure the password for the downtime is set up by your friend. And so therefore, you can't access the phones unless you put a password, right? But if you don't know the password, then you can't do that. And so that's exactly what I do. The second thing you want to do is enable black and white filter so that your phone doesn't look as stimulating, with all the popping colors. But if your phone was just on black and white, then it's just like so much more friction to, get addicted to the phone or get stimulated because it doesn't look as fun or enjoyable. Third thing you want to do is, bro, come on, you already know you need to do this, but just delete all the social media off your phone. Deleted Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, everything you can think of I've deleted. The only thing I've kept is my YouTube music so I can listen to podcasts in the gym and in the car. And I've also kept WhatsApp and iMessage because those are the two things I use to text people. And so if you're trying to use Instagram, then just use it on your laptop. It's way less addicting than going on your phone. But if you just open it on a web browser, it's like, do I really want to go on it as much? Do I really want to go 5 hours a day? Maybe less, right? What you also want to do is just turn off your notifications. Even if you're not on Do Not Disturb, you should not get notifications regardless. Like, why is the Photos app sending you a notification? Like, why is the Weather app sending you a notification, right? Like, it's just extra stimulus and distractions that could prevent you from being productive. It's like, why would you even risk that? Like, do you not value your time, brother? Do you not value your work and the stuff that you do with your day? Generally, just turn it off. Only keep the phone call like notifications. Like, Who cares if you respond to your friends 5 hours after they text you? If you don't respond within 10 minutes and they get pissed off, bro, you should not even be their friends, right? If they really need you urgently, they'll call you and then you'll answer. And then just like a few other things that you can do that I have on that just kind of just help is, first of all, disable Face ID from like unlocking your home screen. And so I just have to put an actual like letter passcode in order to open my phone. It just adds another layer of friction because it's like, oh, I have to spend 15 seconds actually typing out letters to unlock my phone. Another thing is raise to wake. And so, if my phone raises, it doesn't turn on. But for example, your phone probably does, as in like if you raise it, then the screen will pop out because it thinks you want to use it. Just disable that. And then another thing is tap to wake. And so if you tap the black screen, then, the phone will turn on. But for mine, I just disabled that too, so that the only way I can turn on my phone is just clicking the power button. And that way it's just like ensuring that you're very intentionally using your phone. You only use it when you actually really want to or need to. But it's not like, oh, just for fun, just because I'm bored, let me just go on it, right? And that alone will generally 2x your productivity. Just fixing your phone, generally you don't understand how much we are glued and addicted to our phones, that once you slowly detach from it, you realize, first of all, like how robotic you are and addicted you are to your phone, and also how much more fun life is without always being on your phone. And if you generally follow just this first step, you're already more productive than 99% of the population. Step number 2 is just creating a very basic schedule. And so you can do this physically or digitally, but I prefer digitally, like for example, Google Calendar is pretty good. And so what you basically want to do is just kind of log all the basics that you have throughout your day. And so just log the time that you wake up. And so if you wake up at 5 a.m., put that as your waking up time. Then your sleeping time, let's say it's 10 p.m., right? I'm just using mine as an example. And so you set that up as well. And then a few other basics. So let's say on Tuesdays you have class from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You log that down, and then let's say you go to the gym from like 2 to 4 or something, then you log that down as well. Let's say you eat from like 5 to 6 or 5 to 5:30, then you log that down as well. And so everything that's kind of reoccurring, that's consistent in your routine, you just log that down. And therefore you kind of truly see the time gaps that you have throughout the day, whether in the morning, middle of the day, and then the evening. And so this is going to be important because in step number 3, we're going to log down exactly when we're going to do our deep work task, or we're going to have our deep work session. And this is important because I want you to have that deep work session as early as possible throughout the day. And so let's say your earliest 1 hour block or 2 hour block of the day is from like 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., right? So that's exactly when you want to do your deep work session. Because let's say, you wake up today and the most important thing you need to do is studying for an exam you have in 2 days. It would much more serve you to have that deep work session from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. than to have that from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Because your focus and your energy is going to be way less at the end of the day. If you do it in the morning, ideally, when your phone's still turned off for the downtime and everything, and you wake up, refreshed, not distracted, you're trying to be productive, you're going to have so much more focus on the task. You're going to get so much more out of it than if you were to spend the same exact 2 hours, but at the end of the day. And generally, that's another game changer when it came to me. Just doing my work first thing in the morning, getting rid of it. Just like, get rid of it. Like the hardest task of the day, just if you finish it 2 hours after you wake up, you already feel so productive. You're like, damn, bro, I can low-key like slack off the whole day and I'm still doing fine because at least I finished the most important task of the day. And so if you follow these 3 steps of fixing your screen time and like not getting distracted by your phone, and then creating a basic schedule so that you know what you're doing most of the day, and therefore you kind of know how much extra time you really have. And so if you don't get that much work done, you're like, okay, I slacked off because I know I had 5 hours of free time today. And then the third thing is just doing your most important work first thing in the morning, and that will make sure you're always getting the hardest tasks done and you're now a productive student. If you want to learn more on how to get good grades and become a productive student, then just click on my course. It's the first link in the description, and I'll see you there.